Hey YouTube, Sandy Frank here. Today's episode of Hobby Talk Tuesday. We usually don't do like sports subjects, but it does have a lot to do with the hobby, and especially with my PC and stuff like that. We're going to talk about Juan Soto. So, if you've been following baseball, excuse me, Juan Soto, he's on the Nationals. He's one of the definite superstar young players that's on the rise. He's already won a World Series ring with Washington, but now Washington's kind of in a rebuilding situation, and they've been trying to re-sign Juan Soto or sign him to a long-term deal, but he apparently does not want to sign there. He wants to go elsewhere, and so now the Nationals are being put in a position where they are looking for a nice trade partner to send Juan Soto to, because you hate to lose a player as awesome as Juan Soto and get nothing back. So they're working some trades. The trade deadline is this upcoming Monday from Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. But I wanted to tell you where he's going and why I think he's going there. Juan Soto is about to get traded to the Texas Rangers, and I'll tell you why and how this is going to happen. Now, why would the Rangers trade for Juan Soto? Well, he's the modern day Ted Williams, basically. Gets on base all the time, tremendous power, very young player, has enormous upside, hits for average. He's maybe not a great defensive player, but offensively, he's the 2020s version of the best player in the league. Like, Mike Trout was definitely the 2010s best player in the league. I think 2020's best player in the league is going to be Juan Soto. So that's why they would want him. Now, how could the Texas Rangers possibly get Juan Soto? Well, number one, they definitely have valuable trade pieces in the minors. Their farm system is actually really strong right now. They've been adding a lot of great talent, and they have definite pieces that they could trade to make this happen. And there's a little that's not really inside information, but if you look at the behind the scenes maneuverings that have been going on, you will see why it's almost a guarantee. Nothing's a guarantee, right? But it's a very strong possibility that Juan Soto is going to become a Texas Ranger. Okay, so the Rangers are rebuilding the team. They're having a little bit of struggles this year, but this year they did sign Marcus Semien, a great second baseman with power. He's had a little bit of struggles this year, but I am very happy to have him as my second baseman, and he's going to be here for, I believe it's a 7-year deal. He's definitely one of the pillars of the rebuild. And one thing to note is his agent is Scott Boras, and the Rangers front office and Scott Boras came to terms on an agreement, and that brought Marcus Semien here. Number two, the Rangers also signed, they spent more money this past offseason, than anybody in baseball. They also signed Corey Seeger from the Dodgers to be the shortstop. This was a 10-year deal, meaning Corey Seager is going to be a Texas Ranger for the next decade. He's been great. Went to the All-Star game, played in the Home Run Derby. He's going to obliterate his career best in home runs this year. He's maybe not the greatest defensive shortstop, but great offensive production from that position. And he signed a big deal, and his agent is Scott Boras. So, again, the Rangers have been working behind the scenes with Scott Boras to make this happen. Okay, now we fast forward to this year's draft. Now, the Rangers pulled off a really incredible draft in my mind. The first round, they had the number 3 pick. They shocked all of baseball by picking Kumar Rocker. Great pick. I love Kumar Rocker. I've been wanting them to get him for 2 years, and now they have a chance to get him. So they drafted him with their number 3 pick, despite maybe some injury concerns. But everybody wondered how this is going to happen. Well, the Rangers worked with his agent. His agent, Scott Boras. And they slotted him about what he would have made last year. He got drafted by the Mets last year at number 10, I think, or 11. And so the Rangers gave him what he would have gotten last year's draft, but he just never was able to sign with the Mets. So with that, the Rangers were able to save some of their signing money. I believe each team gets a pool of money. They took Kumar Rocker higher than he was projected to go, and were able to sign him for a lower amount slotted. It's kind of a tricky thing, that this MLB draft. So then in the second round, in the third round, we didn't have picks because of signing Corey Seeger and Marcus Semien. So up comes the fourth round pick, and the Rangers shocked baseball again. This time, they took the number 1 pitcher in the draft by MLB.com. They had him the number 1 pitcher in the draft. Number 10 or 11 prospect overall. A high school pitching prospect, Brock Porter. So they drafted him in the 4th round because his agent, Scott Boras, told everyone that he will not sign for less than $4 million. And once he didn't get picked in one of the top picks, teams began passing on him because they weren't going to be able to offer him that $4 million. Now, enter the Rangers in the 4th round. By saving money by taking Kumar Rocker in the 1st round, they were able to use that money that they saved on drafting Kumar Rocker and used it to, and they've already signed Brock Porter for what he wanted. He wanted to sign for $4 million. Rangers get him, so they get the top pitcher in the draft in the 4th round and a player that was the top player in the draft before he got hurt from the last couple years. So, and then they were able to add Jack Leiter as well. And I believe Jack Leiter, yes, his agent is Scott Boras. So the Rangers have positioned themselves with these behind-the-scene maneuverings to be a real strong, up-and-coming team. Now, what does this have to do with Juan Soto? Well, the Rangers are clearly working with Scott Boras behind the scenes to build this next level team that they're working on building up. And guess who's agent? Guess who is the agent of Juan Soto? Scott Boras. So the Rangers are doing all these things, anticipating that Juan Soto is going to become available. And they already have a very strong working relationship with Soto's agent. Now it's just, can they get a package good enough that Washington will be willing to trade Juan Soto to them? And the Rangers, they're going to have to take on Patrick Corbin, which that's fine. We need pitchers anyway. The Nationals are probably going to want to package that pitcher with him because they want to offload that salary. So the Rangers, they'll take Patrick Corbin and Juan Soto, and they will give up a really nice package of prospects. They're not going to trade any of these top pitchers that we were just talking about, but they will be willing to trade guys like Josh Young, guys like Ezekiel Duran, some of these middle infielders that aren't really going to get a shot at the big leagues with Corey Seager and Marcus Semien there. We have a lot of really good prospects. There's also some pitching prospects that they could throw in. They can make a really nice package deal to Washington for Juan Soto. And I think this deal is going to happen. And maybe it's happened before I got to post this video. But keep an eye out. And you heard it here first, guys. The Rangers are about to acquire Juan Soto. And I couldn't be more excited. I love Juan Soto. I've been collecting his rookie cards since he was a rookie. So I'm a big believer in the player. I'm a fan of his. I have this awesome Juan Soto rookie atomic. Let me move my light down here so you can see this. Juan Soto atomic PSA 10 rookie auto. That's always going to be in my collection. Love that card. This is the Juan Soto Chrome rookie. I graded these myself, so I'm very excited to be adding Juan Soto. And as soon as this deal goes down and is official, man, I wouldn't be able to be any happier with the way this season went. All right, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Also, guys, what do you think? I'm mostly, this is kind of a fantasy baseball scenario here for me. I would love this to happen. What do you think is going to happen with Juan Soto? Is he going to stay in Washington? Are they going to trade him? Who's he going to get traded to? What do you guys think? I've been reading articles and no one ever mentions the Rangers, but I'm telling you, the Rangers are definitely in on this and with the agent. So, what do you think? Put it down in the comments. Let's have a good discussion. Stay tuned for more videos later.